This time it's Luke's turn to drop a game winner in the rec center. I'm gonna leave a link in the comment section to Luke's channel. Make sure you show him some love. He's got some videos up. He's got a mixtape for his build full of highlights. And this is an interesting gameplay to show you. I've got a lot of rec center games that I need to get edited and posted because it's either good to talk about or funny things are happening. I mean, look at this. The first possession of the game, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be one of those. We're gonna have to see that offense every single possession. Of course, they're running this zone defense. So now we just gotta move the players in the zone. Whoever's open is gonna shoot. I'm gonna get double teamed a lot up top, so we just have to move it around. And I wanna give a shout out to Shakedown 2012, because when the game first came out, a lot of times we'll share the builds that we see in the park or in the rec center. And we'll always laugh because we would see builds that have no defense. Like guys would max out everything on offense but have no defense. The guy that I'm defending, the point guard, that's his build. He has no defense. You're gonna notice when they're playing defense, he's hiding in the corner in the zone. He's guarding the corner guy. And then on offense, because he's souped up, he has a 99 3, a 99 mid-range, 99 dunk, 99 handles. He's just gonna do everything for them offensively. So even though we always laugh when we see those builds, especially Shakedown, in the rec center, when they're playing this strategy, it makes sense for what they're doing because they're just gonna come out here and cheese. They might as well have the guy who's gonna do everything just be maxed completely in offense, have max badges so that the cheese will be even more effective. And this is one of the reasons why I made this new defensive build, because the point guard is the best position to defend these guys because you're gonna have the most speed. Look, I get a steal here. I would never be able to get a steal like that against a dribble god without this build. And I'm actually building it up. I'm only 92 overall. I don't have all my badges in this game. I'm still working it up, the player, but this was the game that made me say, yes, this build is really gonna help me play the defense I need to play. Because normally when we go out there in the rec center, we have a lot of killers on offense. Offense is easy, defense is hard. And when you play against these teams, you wanna be able to play some decent defense against it, and this build helps a lot. But look at this cheese. You see how I run into that screen? Like, why did I get sucked into the screen with that type of animation as if I wanted to go to the other side? I wasn't even pointing in that direction, but that happened. And that's the thing about this pick and roll cheese, is that it's never the first screen that gets you. It's always the third or the fourth screen that you finally get sucked into. And that's gonna happen a lot in this video. You're gonna see that happen to me on some other possessions, and we're gonna give up the 3, unfortunately. That's one thing that they should do, is they should tone down the effectiveness of the screens when you're resetting the play for the second and the third and the fourth time, because that's what's going on. This guy is gonna dribble out the clock on every single possession. And at the end of the game, it's funny. I'm gonna bring up the score so you can see the stats for both teams, and he's gonna have a D+ because of the way that he's been playing and holding the ball. He gets so many negative grades. He has a D+, even though they were very close to winning the game. That is hilarious. In this game, I don't have Pick Dodger, although now that I've built up the build, you saw my highlight reel, so you know I'm 99 now, but now that I've built it up, I have tested out the Pick Dodger badge on Hall of Fame, but you still get stuck and you still get those suction animations when they're dancing around like that. So I don't really know if it's worth it to put the badge points there. We have more success defending the pick and roll just by switching everything and by baiting. Like you see, Luke got a steal earlier, but then now this guy realizes he's helping, so now he's gonna hit the corner directly. So you gotta be careful with the way that you're baiting. But Luke is really good at baiting, so he is gonna get some more steals and some big plays in the clutch defensively. He just knows how to bait. Sometimes he goes, sometimes he doesn't. He's playing mind games. With me testing out Pick Dodger on Hall of Fame in these type of games, yeah, sometimes you go through the screen a little bit faster, but I just don't think it's worth it. I think the scheme for defending the pick and roll, if you just have a better way to switch it and to guard and stop the 3 and the roller, that's better than having a badge. Like, look right there. Why did I get sucked into the screen? That makes no sense. I was not even going that way, and then it just made my player just say, here, just leave him wide open. I know when you play the park, you don't really see too many people running pick and rolls because it's so much easier to just ISO. There's so much more space. You don't really need the pick and roll to create your offense. But it's just funny. I mean, look at this. Every possession is the same thing. And the funny thing is, I have other rec center games to show you, because when we play a team and it's an actual team that was put together, 9 times out of 10, this is the game style. It's gonna be a 5-out. It's probably gonna be a 5-out pick and roll scheme, but sometimes it'll just be a 5-out ISO scheme. But even though all the players have different gamer tags, they're totally different players, they all play the same. All of these teams play the exact same way, and then after they dribble out the clock, at the end of the shot clock, another bailout that they go to is the lob pass, where they lob it with like 5 seconds left on the shot clock, somebody cuts back door. We're gonna talk about that in another video because I got a game from this weekend. There was double XP in the rec center, so everybody was playing rec. We played against a team, they looked like park players, and they were just throwing crazy lobs. They threw like 30 lobs in the game, no joke. So I gotta post that one. That video is absolutely hilarious. But even though those guys are a totally different 5 set of guys, they're gonna be playing exactly like what you're seeing here in this game. Everybody plays the same. Nobody has their own game style. I don't know how this became the game style and why everybody loves to play like this, because look at all the other teammates. They're pretty much just standing there. They're not really doing anything offensively. I wouldn't be able to be those guys standing in the corner the whole game watching one guy do all the work. I wouldn't be able to do that. That wouldn't be fun to me, but all of these teams that you play, everybody's okay with that. They're like, yeah, let those 2 guys get all of the stats, get all of the XP, because at the end of the game, a lot of times you look at it and only the 2 guys in the pick and roll have a better teammate grade than a C that have a B. So everybody else they're just leveling up so slow when you agree to be the guy that just stands there. The clutch of this game is coming soon, but now let me talk about the ankle braces badge, because I've seen a lot of people talk about this badge. They're saying it's useless, it doesn't do anything, but that is completely wrong. In my experience, you need this badge. If you're gonna be defending dribblers, you need it. I didn't start using ankle braces until I made this defensive build, because my other builds, I didn't have enough defensive badges. My first build, I think it had 7 defensive badges. My second build might have had 11. So when you have only 11 or 7 badges, you're not gonna spend 4 to put ankle braces to see what it's all about. So I played hundreds of games without it. And then when I put it on with this build, when I started using it, after the first day, I noticed a major difference, because I was so used to seeing when the guy that I'm guarding, he gives me a jab step, my player might freeze for a second and be like, whoa, and then he can blow by me. Or if he does an escape to the right or an escape to the left, my player would freeze. But then when I started using ankle braces, I don't see that happen to me anymore. Now the badge, it doesn't make you immune to ankle breakers. You're still gonna get your ankles broken sometimes, but the frequency is gonna be much lower. I've had a lot of games like this where I'm not guarding the dribbler, and then my teammates are leaning like crazy. They're leaning 5-6 times a game. And it's funny because before the game, they'll be talking about how ankle braces is useless, but then once they're leaning, they're like, hey, Smoove, you come guard this guy, you got ankle braces. And I even played a little bit of Park 2, and my teammates did the same thing. They were getting their ankles broken in the game, and they're like, hey, Smoove, you guard this guy. Now look at this. This is hilarious. That's our new center. That is his first shot of the game. We didn't know he could shoot because all game he was open, we were passing him the ball and he wouldn't shoot. And the other team didn't know he could shoot either. And it's funny because after the game he gets on the mic and he's like, yeah, I didn't want them to know I could shoot. I was saving it for the best moment. And whenever he got a shot, he greened the shot. I think he only took like 2, or he didn't take that many shots, 2, 3, 4 shots, but he greened his shots when he finally had it, and he's gonna hit a big time 3 in this game. It's absolutely hilarious that he was keeping himself a secret. I'm going coast to coast in the clutch of this game. Despite all this cheese, we are right there in the game. And this is the definition of staying ready. Never taking a shot all game, but then when you get the opportunity, you're gonna green it when we need it. Look at them, they're leaving them wide open, splash! Wow, you know they were shocked. They were probably like, whoa. So now they're not gonna give him that type of space. And I'm still trying to shut down this guy. He's trying to lean, he's trying to fade. This game was played before they patched the fades, so that's why you are seeing him fade and having some success in this game. But this game was so crazy, we still gotta post this one. We gotta show you Luke getting that game winner. We're gonna take our first lead of the game with under a minute to go. Pick and roll, I'm getting double teamed again. Dishing it to Luke, he's gonna go baseline. They're double teaming up top, they forget about me, I slice down the middle to take the lead. We were really impressed with these two new teammates. This was our first game together to start this session. They didn't panic. Even though we're going up against the zone defense, they didn't turn the ball over like crazy. They're doing a pretty good job. We have good communication here on this pick and roll. It's just that eventually you're going to get stuck in the screen and there's nothing you can do. He goes to the basket to retake the lead. And then this is crazy. This next possession, we choked a little bit. We all made some mistakes in this game. I made plenty of mistakes. Everybody did. We're going to make a big mistake here. And now they're not leaving the big man open. They're up on him. They know that he can shoot, so the surprise worked. Here we're gonna make a big time mistake. The pass is stolen in the clutch, so we've got a foul. We're gonna foul, but we need to foul again with 8 seconds left. Look at our center. He's gonna get a big time steal, and we call timeout. We have one more chance to win the game. Wow, the inbound is gonna go to Glee, but he fakes the three, passes out, gives it to the center. They give it to me. I'm getting double teamed. I give it back to Luke. He steps in to mid-range for the game. Luke calls game. That was cold-blooded, and you know they gotta be salty about this L. And look at this screenshot. This guy that scored all the points, he had a D+ teammate grade. They basically almost won the game, even though he had a D+ and he scored all their points. They were one possession away from winning this game. Go show Luke some love on his channel for hitting this game winner, and I've got more Rec Center games to show you. I'm getting tired of that BS. I say, give me that. I did the free throw line dunk with the right hand. Now I'm gonna lift off with the left hand. Both hands from the free throw line. I'm going crazy. I get the steal. I'm diving. Dolphin dive. And I shoot it on the floor. I told that girl, I said, I'm